Hello and welcome back to the News Media Hands channel.
President Trump, how did it go today?
I think it went very well. So you heard that yourself. This is a case that nobody wanted to bring, including Alvin Bragg. It was just at the last minute they decided to do it. It's a case that, if you're looking back, it goes back many, many years, 2015, maybe before that.
Day 5 of Donald Trump's hush money trial in New York commenced with the delivery of opening statements, setting the stage for the legal arguments to unfold. Lasting just over 3 hours, both prosecution and defense provided insights into their respective strategies for the weeks ahead. Prosecutors framed the case as election fraud, pure and simple, outlining a three-pronged scheme to influence the 2016 presidential election through media manipulation and hush money payments, as they called their first witness, former National Enquirer executive David Pecker, to the stand. Conversely, Trump's defense team sought to downplay the significance of the alleged conduct, emphasizing that attempting to influence an election is a common practice in democracy and asserting that Trump's actions were lawful. A key focus emerged on the credibility of Michael Cohen, whose testimony holds significant weight in the trial. Both sides addressed Cohen's past actions and reliability, with prosecutors acknowledging his history of lying under oath but urging jurors to consider his allegations in conjunction with other evidence. Trump's lead attorney, Todd Blanche, emphasized Cohen's lack of trustworthiness, cautioning jurors against convicting Trump based solely on Cohen's testimony. Meanwhile, Pecker's testimony shed light on the inner workings of tabloid journalism and his role in the alleged hush payment scheme, providing crucial insights into the prosecution's case against Trump.
Today, reality is exactly what caught up with Donald Trump as he made the long, ignominious journey through the city that made him to hear the opening arguments in the criminal case against him. Now, defendant Trump will be judged by a jury of his Manhattan peers in the first criminal case against a former president in American history. But in true Trump style, he used the moment to attempt to steal the limelight for political gain, not shy away from it.
Told jurors that Mr. Trump orchestrated a criminal scheme to influence the 2016 election. They say the $130,000 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels was to silence her in order to win the election.
National Enquirer in turn contacted Michael Cohen, who then paid her $130,000 just 2 weeks before the 2016 election. The DA's office from District Attorney Alvin Bragg's team have outlined here over the course of 45 minutes in opening statements that they intend to show that there is a conspiracy.
And the first witness was the former publisher of the National Enquirer, who prosecutors say bought and then covered up negative stories about Trump.
This is campaigning. What's going on right here should never be happening. It's a very, very sad day in America, I can tell you that.
A sad day in his eyes, but a just one for those who say holding Trump to account is long overdue. Ironically, this case centers on Trump's alleged actions to interfere in the 2016 election, just as he's campaigning to win the next one in November.
In the tale of the porn star, the president, and the payout.
At the heart of the story is an alleged sexual encounter nearly 20 years ago with Stormy Daniels, a former adult film star who claims she had a brief affair with Donald Trump.
Did you want to have sex with him?
No, but I didn't say no. I'm not a victim. I'm not.
It was entirely consensual.
Oh, yes.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg seated behind his team in the first row.
They call it a legal expense. That's the exact term they use, legal expense, in the books.
Trump's defense attorney pointing squarely at Cohen, who's already been convicted and served time for falsifying business records to conceal the payoff. The defense saying President Trump had nothing to do with the 34 counts other than signing the checks. While
Michael, let's start with you. Even though today's session was a half day due to Passover, what stood out the most to you about the prosecution's opening statements?
Well, the story that they're looking to tell is that this is, not about some cold paper records. It's about election interference, and that's what they're selling, and that there's a conspiracy. And, there is no conspiracy charge, but one of the underlying crimes that they're asking the jury to accept that former President Trump was intending to commit is a conspiracy under the New York election law to promote or prevent an election by unlawful means.
Right. Donald Trump's credibility, Lester, is going to be critical here for this jury when they're determining the extent to which he is guilty or innocent here. And you said 2 times now already in the last week, he has made clear that he would testify in his own defense. But there are numerous questions that Donald Trump has never publicly or privately, including inside of a courtroom, answered when it comes to the specifics of this case. And one of those comes down to the fact that in January of 2018, that is when the Wall Street Journal first reported about the Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels $130,000 arrangement, more than a year into his presidency, January of 2018. When Donald Trump was first asked about it in April of 2018 on Air Force One, Haley was covering his White House at the time. Donald Trump was asked specifically, did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels? Donald Trump replied, no.
So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to, make this more than just about these false ledger entries, these checks with the false notations, and really make this into what they believe it is, what their theory is, that it is, in fact, an election interference case and not, as Mr. Trump's attorneys have said, just about what did he know about these records.
Prosecution's opening statement took about 46 minutes as prosecutor Matthew Colangelo told jurors about a, quote, criminal conspiracy and a cover-up. Colangelo also accused Trump of repeatedly causing false entries to be made to business records, outlining the former president's alleged role in the hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels.
This is going to be the first time maybe in his life that he cannot control the narrative, and he also can't sue the prosecutor for anything negative that they say about him, because the opening statement is protected speech.
Trump's defense attorney, Todd Blanche, spoke for roughly 36 minutes and began with one simple assertion: Donald Trump is innocent. Something the prosecution and defense had in common, referencing Trump's longtime friend, David Pecker, who then took the stand. Pecker, the former publisher of the National Enquirer, allegedly helped broker the $130,000 hush money deal. Pecker has been granted immunity in the federal investigation in exchange for his testimony, and he'll return to court on Tuesday, as will Trump.
It's a case as to bookkeeping, which is a very minor thing in terms of the law.
Court ended early on Monday due to an alternate juror's dentist appointment.
The prosecution's first witness, former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker, also back on the stand. During opening statements, prosecutors argued that in 2015, Pecker met with Trump and his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, to work out a scheme to buy and conceal negative stories about Trump ahead of the 2016 election. One of them about an alleged previous affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels. In his brief testimony Monday, Pecker acknowledged the National Enquirer did pay for stories. Trump denies any wrongdoing. While Cohen did pay Daniels $130,000 to suppress her story days before the election, which Trump later reimbursed as legal fees, the prosecution characterized it as election fraud.
It's a case as to bookkeeping, which is a very minor thing in terms of the law.
In his opening, Trump's defense attorney, Todd Blanche, said that Trump didn't commit any crimes and, quote, there's nothing wrong with trying to influence an election. It's called democracy. Cohen, who previously served prison time after pleading to federal campaign finance charges as well as other crimes, is also expected to testify.
He got in trouble, he went to jail. This had nothing to do with me.
Also today, the judge will hear arguments on whether to hold Trump in contempt for allegedly violating a gag order over his social media posts criticizing the trial.
Thanks for watching. If you like it, comment and hit the like and share buttons. Subscribe for future videos.